Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or whatever time you are listening to this, episode 2 of Adventures in Music, Film and Books. No, Music, Books and Film. No, or whatever. It's in some order. But it's a very nice to have you here with me for episode 2. This one is going to focus on a very interesting little story that happened in 2014. I was 2 years into doing this music project that I do called Dodson and Fogg, which is kind of prog folk, psychedelic folk, singer-songwriter, rock folk, all kinds of things that the critics used to call it when I used to send it for critics to review it. But it started in 2012 and I just started recording kind of acoustic songs, proper, singer-songwriter material. And I started getting a few people in, like people that I really liked, and asked cheekily if they'd take part in this project out of the blue, basically, and they did. I don't know why they did, but I'm really glad they did. People like Nick Turner from Hawkwind was on the first 2 albums, and he was really nice. He did some really groovy flute stuff for me, and Celia Humphries, who was in a band called Trees, who I really loved, like a British folk band. Judy Dybel, who was the original vocalist for Fairport Convention. They basically did their recordings and sent them across to me online, and I mixed them in with my acoustic guitar and vocals and flute and bits and pieces, and kind of worked on it for a few months and toyed with the idea what to do with it, and I basically then put it out myself, and it started doing good. People were actually buying it and liking it and enjoying it and wanting more, so I carried on recording music, and it kind of took over the writing for a while, and it was just really enjoyable. And then it got to 2014, and I wrote a song with my wife, Lindsay Napier, called You're an Island. She wrote the words, and I came up with the tune for kind of a mystical kind of psychedelic kind of tune, and basically put it to one side and just didn't really record it, do much with it. And then I recorded a very basic demo of it, and then I had a dream one night where one of my favourite albums, if not my favourite album, is Desire by Bob Dylan, and it's just an amazing album. It's got this violin on it by Scarlet Rivera, who's a legendary violin player. She's got her own style. It kind of floats around, and it's very gypsy violin. It sounds sometimes discordant, but it's not, and it's just a very unique style. Obviously Dylan was obsessed with it, and on Desire she's always mixed by the guy called Don Meehan, who I interviewed once. Actually, I did a book about Desire once, a full book, a classic album series all about Desire, and interviewed the bassist Rob Stoner. Scarlet Rivera, I interviewed her, and Don Meehan, who provided all these really great details about the recording of the Desire. Anyway. So I had this dream where I'd recorded You're an Island, and I'd got somehow Scarlet Rivera to play the violin on it in one speaker, one side, as she's mixed throughout Desire. And I woke up from the dream and I thought, I want to make that happen. Don't know why I thought it was going to be a possibility, because she's quite a private kind of person. You don't see her much, and she only does things as and when she wants to do them. But she's legendary in Dylan circles, and in her own right she's a great musician. But I managed to track down her agent or somebody representing her, and I sent her this track, and she got back to me saying, yeah, I'd love to do it, I'd love to provide some violin for it. She was inspired by the song, which has really surprised me. I wasn't sure what she was going to say, if I were going to hear back at all. So she went to a studio nearby, and a friend kind of recorded her violin, and I put it into the music. It was quite spooky because it sounded just like how I dreamt it, and I was like, wow, it was really quite eerie, really. So I mixed it very similar to how she's mixed on the Desire album, and she was really happy with it, and she said if she were ever in England she wanted to come and play the song with me, and she's either not been to England or she's changed her mind, she's avoided me, but either way, we haven't ever met, but I've spoken to her on email and stayed in touch now and then. But recording that song with her was just like this, I can't really describe what it felt like, because it takes me back to being a young boy when I had Desire on LP. It was my favourite record, and I just used to listen to it all the time. I was obsessed with Hurricane and Isis and Mozambique, Sarah, all these great songs which Scarlet Rivera provides this amazing violin to. So it was just great to get her on a song. It was kind of, what? And people still go, what, you did a song with Scarlet Rivera? Because I can't quite believe that I was able to get her on this song. So I'm just going to play the song now, and this is kind of to put a full stop to the little story. I hope you've enjoyed listening to my ramblings, and here's You're an Island, written by me and my wifey Textures, Lindsay Napier.
Men have trawled the sea for many years, searching for ways to quell their fears. Little do they know that up above, sun can dry those salty tears. You're an island down the world's sea. Write your secrets in the sand for me. Watch the waves, they dance so tenderly. They're like lovers in the sea. So take a dive into the waters deep. Then the gift is yours to keep. You're an island and the world's sea. Write your secrets in the sand for me.